Hello, I'm Robbie Fowler. Come and see me play for the EPL All-Stars against the Thailand Legends on the 10th of August at Surakun Stadium in Phuket, supported by the Phuket News and 89.5 Radio. See you then.
Send you to that clinical, subscribe you some chemicals, audio and visual, can't see me, invisible.
Well, this is the new Dolphinarium. It's right next to the Phuket Zoo. We've been trying for 3 days to try and find someone to speak to about what's going on here. Clearly there's a lot of dissent around the island and some online protests. They haven't really turned into on-site protesters yet, but you'd imagine as it gets closer to its opening that there might be some much more aggressive action from protesters who are very against the idea of putting dolphins into this type of situation. Sawadee Ka. Is there anyone we can talk to? We're from the Phuket News TV.
I'm Russian, we don't speak English.
Looking for the boss? We've walked around the site here trying to find someone to speak to, and so far nobody has wanted to have a talk to us. We spoke to two Russian or Ukrainian gentlemen, but they don't want to speak to us in English. So we're none the wiser from the point of view of what's happening here with the owners of the Dolphinarium. We're on a public road, we can film.
Oh yeah, I understand. But anyway, the news that happened to us ขอโทษครับไม่ถ่ายครับไม่ถ่ายครับ
Will you marry me?
Yes, I will.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Happy anniversary!
I love you. Whatever you're planning to say, make it special with Tawi Suan. Phuket's first jewellery centre is now open and located on Tep Kasetri Road opposite Tesco Lotus in Talang at the Garden Phuket Luxury Mall.
Edwin, we're here at where the site of the Dolphinarium, right next to the Phuket Zoo. What's your association doing to try and stop this being completed and opened?
Well, our organisation campaigns against wildlife exploitation. Dolphins are wildlife, so we try to stop this if we can, as we did a couple of years ago earlier with the same people actually involved. We believe that Phuket is a place to enjoy wildlife in the wild, in the sea. There's no need to go into animal exploitation and torture.
But next door we've got the Phuket Zoo, full of animals in cages.
Yeah, the fact that there already are places with animal exploitation. I just saw a guy walking with a baby loris on Patong Beach half an hour ago. The fact that this exploitation already is happening doesn't mean we need to expand it even worse. So we'll try to stop it where we can.
How do you stop something like this? I mean, it appears that they've got all the legal documents to build or construct this particular facility.
The funny thing is that they've asked for a building permission. A building permission is something completely different than asking for a zoo permit or for the import permits of these dolphins coming from another country, which you need CITES Conference of International Trade in Endangered Species documents for. So yes, they have documents for building a facility like it, but that doesn't mean they will get the zoo permits. And after they're getting the zoo permits, it doesn't mean they automatically get the permit to import the dolphins. There's a time frame for everything.
Edwin, how do you think you can slow the process down, or do you think you can actually stop it?
Well, just looking at the facility from the outside, nobody has been able to go inside yet. It seems that there's a lot of foreigners working in there, legal or illegal. I have been to the local government office and nobody can tell me whether actually there are work permits for these foreigners working in there. So the question first is this all built legally or not? But the second thing is the place up to international standard of animal welfare? With only one basin in there, no side basins for treatment or for stress or for feeding, I don't think the place is up to international standard.
If you were a dolphin, you were given a choice of being looked after and fed a couple of times a day, wouldn't you want to be in a place like this?
I think we hear very similar kind of arguments in favor of zoos and aquaria all over the world. The animals get fed well, they get really taken care of, there are veterinarians looking after them. But let's put it this way, as a free person, living your life free to go where you want to go and traveling a lot all over the world, would you accept putting put in one cell of 4 by 4 meters and get regular feeding from the people that watch you, yes or no? I think if you had the choice, you wouldn't take that. So dolphins are very intelligent, but not as intelligent as we are. They don't have to make that choice, but we can make that choice for them.
Edwin, do you imagine that there's going to be a swell of support to try and stop the opening of this facility, and that we're going to have protests here?
I think protests in Thailand for animals are rare. Thai people, mostly Buddhist but also Muslim community, are having animal welfare and the love for animals very high. The standard of animal welfare, to the contrary, actually in Thailand is pretty low. I don't think people will be physically protesting here, but I think there'll be a lot of support from the community and from the foreign community and Phuket to stop this place.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
This week's the Phuket News. The front page is all about this dolphin issue. Alistair Forbes is the executive editor. Alistair, what do we know about the people that are behind this Dolphinarium?
Not a huge amount. As we understand it, it's a company called Nerum from Ukraine, which has 4 dolphinariums in that country and a bunch more in Russia. They've done this a lot. Tied in with a local company registered as Nerum Phuket. We did speak with the director of that company, who didn't want to be terribly forthcoming, but said that the main focus of the Dolphinarium will be on education and therapy. Apparently talking to dolphins or cuddling dolphins is very good for autistic children. The show will basically be a secondary thing, is what she said.
Okay, nice euphemisms. We should say that there's nothing illegal about what they're doing so far.
Oh, absolutely not. No, I mean, dolphinariums are legal in pretty much any country in the world, including Australia, your country, which is generally a very eco-friendly country. No, it's utterly legal what they're doing. What people are looking at is this, it's an animal rights issue, really, is what we're talking about here.
The aesthetics of dolphins in captivity and stuff like that.
Well, not just the aesthetics, but the morality of it, I suppose you could say. And people have widely differing views on this. So, although I think that the whole thing will go through. I think the project will go through, and it will open.
It looks like there's going to be, from what we've found out today, some local protests, but not really sure whether they can do much except make some noise.
Well, bear in mind too, current martial law, no more than 5 people may assemble in one place at one time. So that could be rather difficult to put on a protest.
Yeah. All right, it's on the front page of this week's The Phuket News, and there's more background, so please check out The Phuket News and you can find out more about this particular dolphin story. Thanks, Alistair.
Thank you.
Imagine if there was an emergency at your workplace. SGS are the elite security professionals for all your security management and training needs. Contact the SGS training team now at 076-336-084 or visit sgsphuket.com. You are what you train.